we are dealing with those three levels of imposition. So we've got the old world cabal, the deep state, old world industrious banking families. Then we have the technological intelligence god. And then the third layer of imposition is the religious imposition, the spiritual imposition. So they're all imperial structures, all three, all different forms of expression. And then once we go through these steps of evolution, so level 2 has been imposing itself on Earth for some time and is successfully harvesting a lot of human consciousness by corralling them into the technological singularity. Level 3 is coming in behind. It's about to start really pushing and pressing because level 2 has been contracted by level 3, I hope you're keeping up with me, to act as the scalpel, to sever the human race from planet Earth, from Mother Sophia, to then have us no longer rooted in our foundation, in our solid foundation, right, from where we spawned, where we came from, to then be harvested. We're primed for harvest. And so by level 3. So there's a degree of harvest of level 1. There's a greater degree of harvest in level 2, but the greatest degree of harvest that is coming is in level 3. And then once we get past our relationship, so our relationship with the old world cabal, we are now addressing our relationship with technology. This is humanity as a whole. Think humanity as a single organism, the collective human soul, right? And Mother Earth. So two entities, they're both having to deal with the old world oppression. Now they're dealing with the imposition of technology, our relationship to technology. And then what's coming up around the corner is our relationship with the gods. And all of this has to be sorted so then we can get clear. So once we get clear of these three levels, then we get back to who and what we truly are, Homo luminous. And we are universal love, and we are universal light, and we are universal knowledge. And we truly are incredible. We are at the leading edge of evolution in this universe.
Go into more depth into that three levels of imposition there was a slide that we just showed. I mean, it was very dense. People couldn't read it. So I just wanted to kind of just go a little more into depth into the three levels so that people get a good idea into how you kind of frame what the big picture that's going on here. So the first level, level 1, the geopolitical, the initial oppression and subjugation caused by elite bloodlines and so forth. So, there's a nice kind of graphic of the black nobility that shows the kind of oppressive structure and the hierarchy. So you want to just go into that? Yeah, just tell us a little bit about this kind of this structure that controls a lot of people's lives on the planet.
Yeah, and it goes all the way to the Godhead. So you've got these imperial structures, and when you're looking at the one on the left, for example, the two-headed eagle or phoenix, I'm not sure what you want to call it. That is more the you'll see what's bound in its claws, and a lot of it has to do with the way they want to manage our consciousness, want to manage our spiritual journey, and want to manage our lives, the whole lot, basically, because our genetics are the most prized possession, Michael, in the universe, because of our structure. We're full universal fractal avatars. All other incarnational avatars are partial fractal. We're the only species that's full universal fractal. Okay, so these hierarchical models, imperial structures that have come along, you always have the Godhead sitting on the throne at the top of the empire, imperial structure. Always. You have a God sitting on that throne. And then you have all the hierarchies that come through. Now, it's all blurry for me on my end, so I can't read any of that. I'm just letting you know. That's why I'm doing the best I can to see what's there and explain it to my best ability. But yes, these are hierarchical structures that are definitely in play, 100%.
Okay, all right. Yeah, just
I can't read anything on it.
okay, all right. Well, that diagram, it just kind of shows what I think you described as that kind of first level of the ruling bloodline families and the way in which they've set up a hierarchical control structure on the planet Earth, and yeah, that's the kind of foundation for this level 2 that you described, the exopolitical, the scalpel, where you have all the different extraterrestrial groups that are kind of a level above that. So I just want to give you the opportunity to explain level 2 in relationship to this hierarchical structure on the planet.
Oh, right. Where does level 2 fit in? Okay, so the Crown Council of 13, we got it down. You've heard of the 12 tribes, obviously. So that's multi-dimensional reference. So the way we got the human avatar to be the way it is, and now I'm talking from my galactic diplomatic self from the Sirius system, right? Because we're vast multidimensional beings. So I'm just going to talk from different places within my own being. Yeah, I'm not channeling anything. I just have access to different aspects of me in the galactic realm. So that what we had to do was to get all the genetic groupings correct, right? And we got it down to 24 different types of genetic groupings, and we needed to get it down to 12. The 24 was good because we had 12 masculine and 12 feminine, and we wanted to balance that out, and love and knowledge. Okay, so we needed to balance out the mother and father archetypal constructs. Then the planets in the solar system were then a representation of, let's say, we'll talk about DNA strands, 12 DNA strands. We've got it down to 12 DNA strands, right? Groupings. And that's where that Council of 13 comes from, because you've got ambassadors and representatives for each genetic grouping. And there was an original Council of 13. Yeah. So the 13th member of that council is the one that holds the balance. So you got masculine, feminine, love and knowledge, dark and light, and the one in the center is the unified position that holds, the management position. So our genetics were reflected in the structure of the solar system. So we had the 12 planets, and each planet was an archetypal theme of each strand of DNA. So the process was to come in, and the civilizations, this is a big story, Michael. The beings from different genetic groupings then came and had incarnational experiences on Mercury, on Venus, on Mars, etc., Maldek, etc., etc. Now, then after things were played out in all these different planetary systems, all different dimensions of reality, then it came to bringing everything into a unified expression on one planet, and then to create the one avatar. So this is how we ended up as a fractal structure. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Sure.
Yeah. And so that's why our genetics are so prized. So I went off on a tangent from the Council of 13. So each one of the World Monarch, Council of 13, Committee of 300, I can read a bit now, think tanks, trying to make out the words, central banks, tax, yeah. So all of that whole infrastructure, because the Godhead at the top has contracted the technological intelligence God to come and impose itself here to act as a scalpel, all of these hierarchical structures under directive from the Godhead are now adopting and embracing technology in different forms, different kinds of technology. And it's a really, really big challenge that we have right now, because there's very good technology, benevolent technology, but there's also malevolent technological intelligence, unfortunately.